It's understanding all these principles together, how the money moves, how fast it's moving. What is the market cap, not only of the entire market, but the market of the trading pair you're looking at? How much money is in that ecosystem? How much of that money is being traded? You don't want to enter a small market cap and expect to get out. You find out it's only trading a few $1,000s a day. For every buyer, there needs to be a seller, and for every seller, there needs to be a buyer.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to your daily fix with NFA OFC. It's so nice to see some people here already. Hey, everybody. This is show 80. This is show 80, you guys. It's wild. Not financial advice, a fucking course is our name and what this is. We just kind of hang. We talk to you about what we're doing. Usually we do the money flow cycle, market cap, dominance, Bitcoin, and ETH, which gives up a heads up on how the money is moving within the market so we can make better decisions. Duh, Jesus. Okay. And then we'll talk about other stuff, but let's get, hey, at America, let's get Pope out here. Let's get chatting.
Hey. I made it, like, literally just moments before we got it. I'm excited. It's been that healthy turn from when I just quickly looked to set up the show. I'm excited for the 80th show giveaway. We'll go over that a little. Yeah, time does fly, man.
Right, buddy.
And we've had some great calls all the way from January to now and how to handle this down market and what it works and what it looks like and what it looks like for our trades. I'm stoked.
Yeah, man, me too. So I think let's just fucking do the money flow cycle.
Let's do it.
I'll leave you to it, bro.
There's been a lot, obviously, with the FOMOC and, PAL or whatever it all was yesterday in the news, blah, blah, blah. We had this dip and we said we wanted to see it recover, and just, this is always our danger area. We wicked in, stayed out. Look at that belly. And we always talk about this. And there was some beautiful trades to be made in here. If you were able to swing trade in this last little time, great on you. We're starting to see this compression to where we're looking at a micro bull possibly coming up. There's always still possibility of coming to the downside. But look where we're having trouble breaking or getting to at the moment, the 2.175. And here it was support. I mean, it was done quick and dirty. If we zoom out on the daily, we can see the height of the bodies to the lower of these bodies here, and then also right here. This green one is 4 hour. This blue one is our daily and goes back in time. It's fighting right now. Now it has had tremendous up. Little pullback makes sense. But what we really need to see for the total market cap and the money flowing in is we need to see that this is where our most important micro belly, micro bull needs to take place. And it can happen quickly. Recovery can turn. On the daily, it's made its first 2 greens that it needed to. We can adjust our daily trends. Catch them up to current candles. We went wicks.
You would think about doing wicks on the bottom or no?
Ooh, what happened there?
Right. Sorry, I said anything.
As we've talked a bit before, for longer trend lines, I'm tending to have been using more of the wicks, and we actually just haven't updated these in so long. But now that we have that, we should. That's a great call, because I'm so used to always going bodies. But if you're going to do one, you have to stick to it. And these are all clearly on wicks. So healthy recovery of the last 2 days. There was some beautiful entries to be had on some of the tokens we're trading, on a bunch of other positions, and some good gains. If you were able to capitalize on that, that's great. It does say on Stochastic that money is wanting to enter. We have a red out green in on Bollinger. Money is clearly moving to the upside. We've held this 4-hour level of support at the 2.12. It was worrisome for a bit, but I've talked numerous times how important this level here was, and we've been on the since rise and now fighting the 2.174, 175 roughly. So on the daily, not quite there for full confidence to say, hey, we're at the belly of the bear, to turn around to money coming madly flushing into the market. We definitely look like on the daily, this double bottom we talked about. Oops, that was terrible. This double bottom that we've talked about before really looks like it is starting to play out. It'll probably be ugly. It'll have resistance here. It'll have resistance here, and hopefully work its way back.
So at this point, are we just waiting for a little bit of a retest at these kind of pressure points, and then, as we say, off to the races?
Yeah, because we're
Anticipating.
already in the game, and we'll probably be, from what I quickly saw and what I would expect, close to our bottom entries already. And like we said, like, we weren't around the machines all day to make trades. So if you got in or were in some of these trades, you rebought in or took profits where we told you to take profits. And like on last show, we're like, hey, if you haven't bought in, here's a good area probably. That's kind of what it's about. But it does look like it is towards the upside. It will forever need to hold here for me to do that. And more that it does, this will start to curl. We get the bullish cross, and then we're off to the races. Dominance, I was going to say, it's probably going to be a little bit of a mishmash, because money's been coming in. Money's been, obviously, well, money came out of the market, but then as it's been coming in, it has been flowing into some of these alts. We've seen some strong recoveries and some good rebounds. So the movement, as we talk about, if you're swing trading, it's been fast. It's coming in and out fast. And yeah, I can't wait to see actually where the trades are.
Me either, man. Some interesting fluctuation.
So we talked about how, and this was, I can't remember when we drew these squiggles, but they were still to the downside. And we said price could come down to these levels, and it did. Now we can see it's mellowing. It's wanting to curl. Our micro bear, micro bull indicator is what we're talking about here, these lines. And anytime they're pointed towards the downside, price action is towards the downside. And on the daily, we're still trying to mellow. So now, take these away. Maybe have been drawn on before, but I think they were here. Point was possibly coming down here. The interesting thing is it is holding the trend. I think we readjusted that, which is nice. This is where you want to see that happen, and this line start to shrink, and then we get our cross. And when that happens, now we have indicators telling us direction is to the upside. I like to buy the bellies in this area for confirmation, get a better entry, and take it from there. But just because you buy a belly doesn't mean you're going to get a cross. Here's a prime example, right? But if you got some entries in down here and took profits here, no one's going to fault you. Ain't going broke. You know, a couple of days, 11 some odd percent ish, not the bottom, not the top. So Bitcoin took a beating. It's having trouble with that psychological number of the 60,000. It really needs to, at the very least on this candle, hold the 59,171. This is absolutely going to become resistance. Be shocked if it just plows through it. We know when we have this pattern, you know, price can do this all the way until we get a retest. So am I seeing solid strength yet? Not really. I want to see more of a curl. We have a entry right now on stochastic that just crossed. Entry on Bollinger, red out, green in. These were beauty entries. There'll be profit taken soon. It'll pull back. That pullback needs to hold these areas, this daily, this trend line. This is cautious trading at the moment.
This is where I'm going to have a little bit of a disappointment. Let's just say I'm going to be in on Bitcoin, or I am. I would now, because of everything that's happened, I would want to wait for, and I've said this before, because at my level of trading, I would want to wait for that cross and see the trajectory of these lines. But you, not in this kind of weird, tumultuous time, but you're very good at finding when it is going to curl. And even if you get that 1 to 5%, even if it does shoot down again, like you're very good at finding that. But it's, I would have to wait for the cross. I'm just saying at my level.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever makes any trader comfortable, you know. And when we buy these bellies, if you're not taking profits on the short term, you're also following the strategy. Yet you have cash on hand, worst case scenario, to buy in. Like, as if you're new following all of our trades, we pretty much entered, you know, the day before Black Swan of geopolitical bombs. You know, and then now we show how do you play through an event like that. It's been great for, you know, some of my family and friends to learn, hey, this is how you don't panic. This guy's not falling. We wait for better entries, but we've already had a couple. And now I want a little bit more confirmation to see, because it is easy and fast when the total market cap drops for this to drop. And if Bitcoin drops, your alts get crushed. So, and I play in alts. I've mentioned it many times on the shows. My bags are alts.
Like, this is not your token. These are, like, because we're still in the money flow cycle. These are the 4 things, if you're new, that we look at just to see where everything is. So if, you know, Bitcoin does something, we know other things are going to happen elsewhere. And I can go further into that later, but
Absolutely. Yeah. That being said, that doesn't mean I don't. I do actually, full disclosure, I own ETH at the moment on top of these trades and other.
And it hasn't had its day yet, man. It's going over to that bad boy. I'm rooting for the ETH.
It's the bags, like the long-term bag holds. I always just, I don't really think about those as like I have, you know what I mean? Like, it's from so long ago. I'm not touching it, not yet.
Oh, this is a long for you because that's the market we're in right now. Got it.
Well, not only that, like when we take profits, there's certain projects I always leave a little bit in, right? I don't always cash out 100%,
Oh, so when you
and
popped out
you
and it went
slowly
down,
accumulate, right?
yeah, that makes
So,
total sense. Gotta
but
get
the
it.
trades that we were in for Ethereum with the show from January to where I cashed out, that had nothing to do with my long-term bags that I don't, my set and forgets, right? That had
Oh, got
nothing to
it.
do with those.
Because you have
Yeah.
these certain percentages, like, and we've talked about this too, these certain percentages of your money and where it is, right? That makes sense.
Exactly. One day I'll learn to remove the paintbrush and get back onto the cursor. When I do, there will be much rejoicing. Speaking of material,
I like it consistency. Go ahead.
right, we done really well with calling it. This is where we got out. Where we did get wrong is we were hoping for the cup and handle formation here. The geopolitical happened. We got it to here. We called it. These were our two entries to get back into Ethereum before the last bad news bears. And we were saying we wanted to look, actually, while uh, we wanted to see this mellow. And it could mellow in a few different ways, a few different spreads. And most likely, we thought it would go this jagged line. And we're already up to here, which is showing strength, which means this may be a pipe dream. This might become more like that now. It is showing a narrowing. And the lines now, I'm going to take these away. If we look at our micro bear or micro bull, they're starting to go this way as opposed to going this way. That's when it's showing indication of movement going to the upside. The narrower these lines are, the smaller the price action. Example here. The wider these ones here, the bigger the price action.
Sorry. What? I had you until you went horizontal.
Okay, so
Or you had me, I guess.
no worries. I'll run through that again for sure, right? Because this is my favorite indicator out of everything. If I'm ever questioning confluence, if I'm ever questioning what the market is doing and what indicators are doing and what people are saying, the micro bear, micro bull indicator to me is the boss. I'll always listen to it before everything else or at the end of the day. And if I don't have agreement, then I'll wait. I'll take patience. So using this indicator, I'm going to take everything else off. Sorry, the mouse is super sensitive in fine motion here. Okay. So all we have is trend lines right now and a micro bear bull line. Gold lines are weekly. If it has shading in between the gold lines, it's weekly consolidation. Gray lines are daily or trend lines, same color. So we just want to focus on this indicator, the micro bear, the micro bull. So the fundamental understanding and theory of this indicator is we all know nothing goes nothing goes straight up and nothing goes straight down. Right? It always is staggered. Whatever that stagger is doesn't really matter. It's more the principle. So in any bear or bull, there's micro bears and bulls. When that shift happens on a statistical level based on EMA numbers, it gives you a cross. That is the indication that it's switching from its bullish trend to its bearish trend, or its bearish trend to its bullish trend, for whatever time frame you're on. You want to really understand the total direction of movement by zooming out on the weekly and the daily, because we can know a coin could be going down in the tanks on the weekly, but in the daily there will be little ups. You don't want to long something on one of those ups and then understand it's going to fall. So that's what these crosses indicate, the switch between the two. Now, these are right the majority of the time statistically, not all the time. No one indicator is. That's why we kind of have our pack that we use. When these lines have certain patterns, right? So we always talk about the belly of the bear. This is a prime example right here. And we called it, right? It's got this belly. Why do I call it belly of the bear? Here's our micro bear switch. We went from micro bull to a micro bear. Now we have the belly. Typically, the bellies indicate a shift in the direction to get the bull. There is no guarantee of how long a micro bear or a micro bull lasts. There's no guarantee of the volatility of it. But when you look at how the lines work with the crosses, if we can spot a belly to turn to direction, now let's look at how these are spread apart here, right? That's legs to run. We are going in an upwards motion. There is no indication of that curl until here. So our exits, if we're longing and getting in on a micro, right? Oops. So here's a belly of a micro bear, right? Anywhere in here would have been a good entry on that belly. Never going to time bottom, right? Now we got our switch and we waited for the curl. That's why we got out in here, and it's posted in our Discord. So the further these lines are apart from each other indicates price action. So if the lines are heading towards the up and they're far apart, you're going to get higher, faster prices. Sadly, if you're longing, the inverse is true. And you can see how they spread, and look how much it went down. They didn't spread much here. Didn't go down a ton. Right. 7.23% was its biggest drop there. Very little spread. The lines are close together. 17.61 spread. Make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You spent a lot of time on that. I appreciate it.
So what I'm seeing now is this straightening off. Right? We don't have the cross. We don't have the indicator telling us, okay, here's our micro bull, and we're off to the races movement to the upside. And we know typically what happens after we get a bull, we get typically a retraction. Unfortunately, geopolitical and everything that's been going on, these retractions have been sharp. So for Ethereum, it's important for it to be holding this daily support. We still got lots of time in this candle, right? So actually, if we updated Ethereum, we're going off candle bodies on that one, but so it needs to hold that psychological number. It's probably going to have resistance here. It most likely, could be bouncing. It could get choppy. It could be very slow. It can be boring. Typically, Ethereum and Bitcoin usually move only a few percent, whereas the alts are the ones that are doing double digits typically. And if these are doing double digits, then alts are doing even better or worse, depending on the direction, of course.
Which is what you learn here on Not Financial Advice, a fucking course, which is what exactly we offer.
Oh, hold on. I'm going to do that for you. Oh, that's a great way to put it. This is just kind of how I trade and what I see and come along for the ride and blah, blah, blah. So that's just support, resistance lines, and the micro bear, micro bull. And when we start using our other indicators, critical fear and greed, take profit target, I'm not going to get into moving direction, I'm not going to get into on this one. On here, these work better on shorter time frames and are for swing trading. I only do that when we're in bullish crosses. So you'll see how I use those once I show you how I swing trade on short time frames versus these trades, which were designed to be a couple of months. Let's get back at it. So I hope that makes it a little clearer. Oh, I did bring on the other indicators to show you that Bollinger is saying a red out, green in, an entry holding the line, stochastic. All the amount of times Primo's had to edit that word. I'm sorry. Stochastic is not quite at the cross at the bottom yet, which could indicate a little more pain. I wouldn't be surprised to see some wicks below the 29.50, like some gross wicks. You can put some stink bids in here. I think the potential for the shift to the upside has come. We've ridden out geopolitical, we've ridden out FOMOC, we've ridden out, Binance, what's his name now? I'm lost it. Getting 4 months in jail, like the FUD, the sky is falling, the flushing out. This to me is just following what everything else is doing, which is following this. It's no wonder that all these look like this. It's almost mirror imagery. So really wanting here to see the curl before I start going, hey, we're off to the races with everything, or that we didn't have great entries. As we said on yesterday's show and showed a couple of our trades that we're about to get into, there were some good entries. Just I didn't take them because we've been busy. We got lots of news coming. I guess some of it's been let out of the bag. NFA, OFC, Counter Crypto Pope, and the Crypto Katie a little later, shortly after, are going from Vancouver to Vietnam, baby.
Oh man, you're lucky you get to go ahead of me, champ. Or chimp.
All the paperwork was just finalized with places and stuff and things that needed to be done here. So July sometime.
Big transition, man. How you feeling?
I'm stoked to go back to Asia. I'm really excited for the direction and some of the things that are coming for, friends and family, for us, for the channel. And just in general, that of all the other little details that we've been working on, I'm stoked.
Yeah, just to see that kind of vision come through because you've been talking about it to me for a couple of years now. So
Mm.
pretty cool. Pretty cool.
This one.
So what else you want to look at, my friend? Are we looking at all of them? You think that we'll see some stinky wicks happening?
Let's have a check. All right. We are NFA OFC Fest coming soon there then, huh? There's gonna be some cool stuff coming.
Oh, I'm so
Uh
excited. Oh,
yeah,
I have to mute now because I'm so stoked. Okay, bye.
yeah, I don't want to promise anything or over deliver anything, but there's some really big changes coming in real life and for NFA OFC for our business.
Then the
Um,
transition's just going to be a little bit and a little bit hectic, which is why we are in these trades right now for the most part. And then when the market changes, we'll make different decisions. All right, get into it. Ugh.
That is true. That is actually why I'm not, for the most part, swing trading. And like I said, I also like to swing trade in bullish crosses on the daily and a lot stronger on the 4 hour on the total market cap. So when we have those, that's when I'll take time to trade, where these are now great times to find good entries, do long-term trades, and be able to touch grass and get into things that you want to do. So
This is a good place to start also because this is kind of where I needed to start at this pace. And I'm noob. If you are new here, I am noobalicious here. And so I'm learning, and Pope has kind of taught me from the ground up. This is kind of like a mentorship a little bit, right? And so we have all these modules. That's why we want you to join. And so right now we're learning at kind of my level and trading at this level. And then when the market allows, Canna Crypto Pope will follow that with you in that way as well. So it's going to be interesting.
I can't wait. Let's do it.
Mhm.
You took off my screen.
I don't know how to put it
I got
back.
it. I got it. I got it. All right. So this is where we've also talked about how we'll see how different tokens respond to market conditions, and we'll start to show you either strength or weaknesses in a trading pair, and sometimes where maybe we move some capital. So far, I've said I'm still being patient and wanting to see, because when you zoom out on the weeklies, all of these trades that are set up have specific targets that are, to me, quite reasonable, attainable, and quite profitable. So these are why these dips, when they do happen, I'm not stressed. It was black swan and geopolitical. We've had a couple entries, and now is really the analysis time. As soon as we get that confirmation on the total market cap, it's always going to boil back to that. We haven't. You still want to take advice as I give them, as I run through them, because you're in them. As I always say, no one will fault you for buying better entry or taking profits. Let's jump into it. 1 inch, really quickly on the 4 hour. We talked about how we wanted to see this curl and price action stay above the weekly and possibly get some stinky bids in here. And how important it would be to hold this area, because this was our low over here. And now it's just fought all the way back in. That would have been another hella re-entry into 1 inch. It has been, that was a fairly, after these two, a decent amount there. Quick 5-7. Clearly we didn't curl there, but we can see that these were in a downward motion. We wanted to see the curl. It was a possibility. It wasn't. And that's why we marked down here, because that is a possibility when we have this spread like we just talked about. So this curve is now what we want to see here. I'm just going to get rid of that. Or we want to see a nice sharp turnaround. There's nothing wrong with that. What we don't want to see is down into Neverlands. Holding in here is showing strength. We're starting to see that curl now, but we still have a lot of spread. Lots of spread. So price action and wicks could be pretty crazy. And price action can be fast to the upside.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Would it be smart then? Obviously, we're going to be watching our tools that we've created, but is it silly to understand that I could just watch that very small sliver just on that weekly box that kind of goes over that, what's the
In here?
yeah, that little area, and just anticipate that it may, I'll use the word boop again. I did that yesterday. Bop around, hang, zigzag it, W it, double bottom it. You know what I'm saying?
What it needs to do here is hold this bottom at
Mhm,
379.
mhm.
And the more it holds this value or increase.
Yeah. I
But
think because I'm a visual learner, like these little squiggles are really good for me. So when I see that small box in there, I'm like, it wouldn't be surprising to me if it held that. So yeah, sorry, it's my visual learning as well.
it's all good.
Yeah, no, it's good. Squiggles are good. I
But
should just say wind is strong.
what I'm saying, the importance of staying in here is that it's going to create these to tighten, to come to turn. Because if it doesn't, it's going to come down. And if it comes down, then these lines are just going to separate again, and they're already far apart. So if this bottom curls and it's that far apart, price action is going to be hard. It's going to move hard,
Yeah.
right? So this is why I'm not going, oh, hey, this is a great entry on the weekly and let's buy here again. I didn't say that on our show. Why? Because that, so right now I'm just starting to see a little bit of confidence in 1 inch by holding this area. But we know this green rectangle is a 4-hour consolidation of resistance and support, right? And we know that when you go below support, it becomes resistance. And look what it's doing. It's been fighting it here. So it needs to retest and hold it and start towards the upside. And then, depending on the trades we're seeing, the time, I will go, okay, is it worth really re-entering here right now to continue to the upside? If I have more of that confirmation, yes, but I don't at the moment. I'm in a sell position and still cast it, which indicates typically price coming down. I probably see this having a little down, a little up. It's going to take a bit. And that's why I'm not saying, hey, let's jump in again on 1 inch. Long term, bullish, just like I said. Yep.
And America said, wow, just notice how crazy the volume is on those sell-off days.
Money moves fast. When you look at that volume, look how fast it happens. And some of that, a lot of that is experienced traders programmed in take profit percentages. Not everybody's going to time the entry and the exit the same. Not everybody knows it's not going to be the bottom and the top, but smart traders will always cash out. They're swing trading. They're taking those smaller percentages. That's why we see pullbacks after 5, 7, 11%. And then you see rebuys in, especially if it's towards the upside. Question said we wanted to see it narrow for Ave. Not only did we see it narrow, look at this. This is coming up to a bullish cross. That's stereotypical wanting to now go from a micro bear to a micro bull.
I think that's what I was searching for in the 1 inch. Do you know what I mean? But I was forcing it to happen where this makes much more sense to me.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about sometimes with some of these. You'll see the strengths and differences of these tokens and never force the TA if it's not there. If there's going to be pain, there's going to be pain. You know, we said, well, it was probably on the daily, some of that TA there. Yeah, this is where we said, we wanted this to curl and go up here. Then we were like, okay, it needs to hold on that 4-hour consolidation box. And it did. And you got an entry here. You got an entry here on stochastic. It's been constantly holding, starting to curl there. Look how much spread there is to how little spread there is now. It's starting to show strength again. It's also looking like the double bottom of everything else. So yeah, from ages ago, it's now we hope we can literally just slide it all over. But we'll leave it for now. We'll clean up these probably next week. Algorand's, this is a prime example now of something that's responding healthier. We're already in profits. Anything over this line, we're profits. We rebought in all this. Geopolitical events took off a wicked. We told people to take profits. There'd be no shame for it. Hope some did. And it just keeps doing these, but our long-term weekly target on it, just to refresh, is 324%.
Just a wild child. Hey, girl.
Patience is a hell of a virtue in this game. Did the sky fall? Everything's already rebounding. That's a beautiful belly in Algorand. That's a prime example. Look at that belly. Get into that belly. Beautiful entry. Stink bid on a daily support, and you would have been off. It's just all the theory. The theory and reality, backing it up and doing it and hitting the purchase button and the sell button are two different things, right? We questioned whether or not, how would this be of an entry? Would we curl here? Would we step up at these levels? Would it happen here? You can see this was an entry belly. You can see this was a belly. Just didn't know FOMOC and everything. They had panicking down to its support. These lines were in here ages ago. I think and then now we're in profit section as we had an entry. So, and how we do our strategy is, this was geopolitical, great entries. We're looking at bellies to go. These were supposed to be stink bids, not to even be hit. Geopolitical, and you could have taken profits from here. There's been a few times to take profits from all these trades, but same things like the others, we didn't set them up for that way. I think we have we don't have our percentages in here. My bad.
Look at that.
Where's current price? Hard to find.
Would you mind even making that little area bigger for us? Thanks. Thank you.
And if we look on the weekly, it's a breakout ready to go. So it's at its retest right now for some patience for a decent, most likely no brainer. I think we'll probably even do better than that, but we've gotten to that before. And we went deep into the micro bear bull today, but I think that was important. This is obviously probably done on a different time frame. Wanting to see it curl. I should start putting my paint brushes on the same colors as the time frames, I was thinking. But on the daily, you can see short-term high target. This is obviously a weekly consolidation. Long-term targets starting to, on the daily, hopefully starting to curl. We're still under a little bit of water here because of our lowest entry. We probably talked about how the weekly support would be a good stink bid entry in the last. I hope I did. But we have done so well, cello, in the past and in the future. I'm excited to see where that goes again. Polka dot has been just, we didn't say it make any credit. Like, what happens here was basically this whole mess. Because it hasn't been down to this weekly support. It broke it, critical fear hit, and then it just off it goes. And there's that belly, there's the cross, and now there's the spread. It's off to the races. There's a great day to actually talk about the micro bear bull indicator. We got spread between the two lines. They're both in this direction. We don't have a curl. If anybody got an entry here, I mean, we're already in profit on that. We're actually doing quite well on that now. Huh. And strategy is we buy as much or more up here as we do down here. So as soon as we turn around, we're in profits. And look at this, like up retracement, up retracement, up retracement, and showing indication to the upside by a red candle. Dot looks like it wants to rocket off to the races. For those that play that drinking game, there you go.
I've already had 2 shots already.
And for those that don't know, apparently I say off to the races, quick and dirty, and a few other expressions. And some of our followers have turned those into drinking games every time I say it on the show.
Don't drink and trade.
Never, please don't. Look at that belly coming up.
You can drink and watch though. Drink and watch is fine.
Absolutely. Ooh, man, one day. Daily retest on a parallel channel that we can see right now from way back when. Lots of touches on it. This will be a powerful bounce if it retests. It's coming right up into a belly and a cross. Phantom looks like it just wants to explode. Red out, green in, red out, green in. Entry support on there. You got a few risky entries because EMA. I wouldn't have taken that. I would have wanted the belly. I prefer a little more Bollinger's wrong on those. Frequently, those can be catching knives. But and if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's all covered in the modules. I can't get into everything today. But this is looking good to pop. This makes me happy. A little behind, still a little underwater, but in great formation with belly coming up to a cross, compression. There'll probably be a little pullback, and then I'm not going to say it, put the drink in. Stink bid hit a few times on this. That has been interesting. Same thing. Look at that belly compression coming up into a bullish cross to go. Still in a sell position because there's good profit here. There will be pullback. Probably will rip soon. Oh, there you are. Bullish cross on Filecoin. Finally. Man, this one was bugging me. This was scaring me. This, now, saying this. Joker missed it. Damn it. And yes, you can put entries in.
But see, this is what I was saying, is this is where I would be comfortable buying. So that's where, because of the spread I see kind of around, and then I would go down to even the 2 hour just to see, or go from the daily to the 4 hour to see, just to see what the spread is really like. But yeah, this is where I would start, and this is not a bad choice.
See, we even gave a stink entry back here when we were talking about when it pulled back down, I was saying a good confirmation would be in here, but we didn't take it. Hence why I don't. If it doesn't have a horizontal ray to the price line, it means I didn't take the trade. We just talked about it. But even now, that's after all the geopolitical and everything that's been going on, it's very slightly in profit, but you're still here. And that's what I mean. Like, there is no perfect entry trade. Now you have the cross. This is still giving you a good thing. Filecoin on the weekly, I mean, our target is 741%. And we've already done since January. We were in here. We've already ridden this quite nicely, which was quite a nice rise as well. Yeah, happy with how FOB's looking. Hedera, another example of how things respond. This was misinformation news. I also said, please, if you're trading short term, take profit, or if you are very comfortable with how much you put in to take profit. I said I wasn't touching it because for the sake of the trading, these trades are for to be long term. Now we have a beautiful capitulation ready to break out, ready for the cross to go right back up to retest some of these areas as we go. And because we have all of these entries, we are still in profit. If IRL wasn't going on, I probably should have sold, rebought, and done, but it just was it is. You know, there's always that is the head of trading right there. Is you're always going to think that never goes away. Stick true to why you entered that trade is another piece of advice I could give there, because sometimes you lose the big picture on the long-term trades that you go in, and then in long-term you go, I wish I never stopped that, or that plan. I got greedy, I took profits too soon, or what. But there is also times to listen to the indicator, listen to the market, and cut your losses. I've been trying to be very forthright the entire time. I even labeled it as a what the fuck danger zone. We got close, and we worked through the all-time high in this last for entry, but I'm still extremely bullish. I think we have lots of profits to make this year. In fact, we already have. It's been great. And we get to share them and give them away. Show 80, giveaway coming. We'll tell you all about it at the end of when I can get through this. I've been saying that Chainlink has been on discount for some time, and it seems to be held this area and is off, and now is off. We're in profits. It's great to see. This was all geopolitical. We even said, I think this was on a show where we discussed here how another point, no one will fault you for taking profits. We didn't have the curl. Here's your curl on the 4 hour. You can see how you can just play this. Could have bought the curl here, sold the curl here, bought the curl here, probably sell the curl here. And those are still slow trades in the terms of, you know, a month or day or a week or two. But like I said, these are a few months trades, and we're riding out in dollar cost entry. It's a dollar cost average. There is a difference between the two.
The reason why we watch the money flow cycle regularly is that we just want to see what's happening there, because it changes so frequently. We watch this all the time, but we don't necessarily watch our trades all the time for the long term.
I've been totally amen. We never entered Telcoin. It wasn't on the exchange on that particular computer. And so I've been very transparent that I actually didn't enter it, but these were prior to geopolitical, and then our recovery entry that we gave on the show, saying for anybody that did take it, and we talk about how sometimes things can respond differently and different things hit at different times. If you did take all these entries and you are here now, congratulations, you're in a ton of profit.
Well, I'm anticipating right now, because the critical greed is coming up right now. So so if it's and you're in a sell position, if you're there, I'm anticipating, because if I'm anticipating a healthy retracement, And I don't know what percentage there is the next kind of where it's going to come back to, but what does that say?
20% just from our entry to the current
Mhm.
price. And if you followed strategy, you would, yeah, you'd be in 20
Yeah.
profit.
But what
So
I'm saying is you didn't miss it because at this point, what I'm seeing is there will be a retracement. There will be another chance to buy in because the
Mhm.
indicators still look like they're, I mean, at this point, at this timeline,
Spread.
killing it.
Mm. And see, we can hear they're narrow, they're going this way, and they're close together, and there's not much price action, right? Apart, price action. If anybody watching today has had an aha moment and it has made sense for that indicator that we give you and how we play it on, let me know. Because that makes this worthwhile. Telos is another one we've said, hey, don't fault you for taking profit from all of these entries, geopolitical, recovery geopolitical. So it's been going great. When it got the cross, we gave 3 examples of what could happen, you know, and damn, and you can see now it's fighting at this support resistance, but still massively up in profits, and just got across. This is ready to run again. Can't wait.
You're starting to foam at the mouth. Can
Mm.
apes do that? Can apes foam at the mouth?
Look at that resistance. Now, granted, lots of profits. It's going to come. We got the belly coming to the cross. You know, was it going to hold here? It did. Obviously, it didn't latest, but you got it all. And still slightly underwater, looking promising. But this is, in my opinion, the one that I'm watching the most, to see if we move it to something that's performing better, or continue to play out the original call, if you will.
I like snacks. Snacks always has an interesting kind of kick up like that sometimes. They're
I love
fun to
that you call it
snack.
snap.
Snacks are fun to watch.
That is awesome. All righty. It's that time. We were able to keep it to an hour and actually go in depth over one of our indicators, which
Man, you and I are right on because I have all this stuff written down about our indicators right now that I want to talk about. Oh, are you going to put that thing up?
what thing up? What thing up?
The thing with the
The
giveaways with
giveaway?
the things. Yeah.
The 80th show giveaway?
Oh, the 80th show giveaway, you guys.
Happy
It's
80th show.
crazy. Happy 80 show, bro.
So, I mean, if it's 80 show, 80s theme would seem appropriate.
Oh yeah. Let's
You
throw
know?
up some neon.
And I mean, it follows our corporate colors. So we're featuring a Fidgetal. We'll have a few cool Fidgetal prizes coming and some other cooler prizes coming as well. This one is brand new in the box, never opened, completely sealed, just like when we did the Gucci giveaway. It is a diesel fanny pack. It was partnered with a HAPE. HAPE got a lot of hate when the NFT first came out. I actually wasn't an investor then and didn't throw it any shade, but I didn't give it too much of a look. And it was one of
I
those.
just realized that this was a HAPE thing.
Uh,
Wait, literally, I thought it was just diesel. That's hilarious.
no, so this was a NFT project called HAPE that came out, and they ended up doing really well on all-time high, like the NFT crank. I can't remember what it was at its peak, and then in the crash it went low, and it was one of those things when projects are building and they're teaming up with cool things, and you can see it I'll swoop in. And I did. I bought a bunch of hate. I ended up flipping a bunch of the NFTs for a lot of profit. And I was able to grab a bunch of these diesel hate fanny packs, which is a phygital. And it's the first time an NFT becomes an actual digital or an actual physical item as well. And that was like the Coda Gucci necklace that we gave away at Christmas. And then now this fanny pack made by Diesel, the only way you could get it is if you had a hate. And hate just did a big thing in Asia. They're massive into the clothing. I'm not following as much as I should. I was hoping to get some of the projects on board to come in and talk because I've been in it for a long time and they might be willing to do that. Just like the San Audio wants to come in and talk about their project for
That'd be
the
interesting.
100 show giveaway. My bad. Didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
No, I was just agreeing. That was an agreeable sound I threw out there.
So part of the thing is it takes a leap of faith to really look at finance and to really look at trading, to look at it smartly. And part of the thing we want to do for our friends and our family and our community is to have fun while we're doing it, to support each other as best as we can. And part of the things I've always wanted to do is from my journey throughout this whole process of Web3 and crypto is I've collected a ton of stuff. And I thought, I don't need all this stuff. It'd be fun for people that are engaging in our community to give it away to them, to get them excited to come along this journey with us. I've never asked for money. I never want your money. I just, help us get the word out there. We do have the education system, the modules, the indicators, and they're all there for you to use. And the community, our mods, Supreme has been nailing the Discord the last few days while we've been dealing with a lot of this stuff IRL. Same with Mir and Ryan, and now with Crypto Junkies on Sunday. If you haven't tuned in, 11 a.m. PST, 8 p.m. In London, and those guys nail it. So that's a long-winded way to say we're about to tweet something that looks like this, a graphic that for all those that like it, are following us, and have retweeted that tweet, you will be entered into the draw, which will be tomorrow. And it'll be a spinning wheel like we did for all the others. And the winner is going to get brand new, sealed in the box, fanny pack for show 80s. Because is there anything better that came out of the 80s than fanny packs? Diesel? I don't know when that came out.
This one I really like too because you would wear it as a crossbody bag a lot when we were in Asia. You were like all into it because it just kind of protected everything and didn't smash anything in there.
You can fit your glasses, your cell phone, your wallet, a couple of small items. Has a zippered back in it too. The graphic we're sharing kind of has a few more images of it if you're not familiar with it.
I want to find an image of you wearing it all over Hong Kong. I'm going to.
It was great for 8 Fest. It was great. Vietnam on the scooters. It was great. And you are getting a brand new one in the box. You're not getting mine. To be very clear, I've come attached to mine. I do like it. It's great on the scoots. Pair of sunnies or whatever you need to take in with you. So
so when we come back tomorrow at 7:00 PST for your daily fix again, we will spin the wheel. And then also what we're doing is we're checking to see who's a sheep and who's a chicken, if we are or not. Did we follow the system? Did we make stupid choices?
Not saying anything.
Well, we'll have to find out tomorrow. Same ape time, same ape channel.
Sounds great to me. So check our Twitter. We're about to drop the link that you need to retweet and do that. It'll just be a few minutes. And all those that retweet it, that are following us, that are liking us, that are in our thing, you are entered and you are on the wheel. And America, you're going to miss the sheep. Yeah, it's recorded on YouTube. All the shows are on YouTube.
And also, I'll still be hanging my head next week, so you'll know what it is on Monday.
Sounds great. See you guys tomorrow.
Bye. Later, Gators. Later, Gators. Later.